And we're live. I hope everyone is having a great time tonight. We were supposed to have a new co-host tonight, but unfortunately, and I hope everything is okay, she had a family emergency right about an hour ago. She's at the hospital now, so positive thoughts going out that way. But pretty excited to have her. I know the thumbnail reflected that, but you can't foresee these things, and I didn't have time to change it. So we're going to go with it the way it is right now. But I want to make sure everyone understands that, something came up. But with me here tonight is the lovely Angie Mason Fluid Art. So she is going to help out for a little bit. I know you usually have to leave a little early, but
yes, I got everything ready so I can stay as long as possible.
All right. So there we have that. If you noticed, if you got tagged, if you didn't, it's out there. If you have a channel, I tag you if I can. In the community post, I updated the entries. We have a lot of entries on this wheel tonight, but this is the last night to get those entries for the quarterly drawing. To get that 24-note nosing kit, 3 sample bourbons marked A, B, and C, a virtual private tasting with yours truly, and a acid-etched crystal bourbon snifter with my Bourbon Bounty logo on it. The first 7 across here are etched. I had to make some more. I was out of them. But we did print more vinyl stencils, and here's just one at random that I will bring up and show you what it looks like. Bourbon Bounty right there. I have been asked numerous times, do I sell these? Not yet. I want to make sure I got the right vinyl stencil. I want to make sure I have the right acid etching. I want to make sure everything's perfect. I don't want to charge people for stuff that's subpar. So give me another run on these things with practice, and I'll make sure I'm going to print the logo just teeny bit smaller. I'm getting some bleed on these. I tried a different stencil that's easier to pull off. Didn't quite work as well. It's sort of like painter's tape. You get the wrong type, and it'll bleed under the edge just a little bit. But, I mean, they look lovely. They're just not perfect, and I'm a perfectionist. So, but tonight I am drinking Clyde Mays 5-year single barrel straight bourbon whiskey. This is a 102 proof. That's what I'm going to be drinking tonight. We also will do, here's one thing for you. I'm going to be giving away the hashtags. Now, I already had the hashtag set. The new co-host is supposed to be Janelle, the Princess of Poetry. So she has a poetry YouTube channel and all that. But in honor of that, I did do 10 best poems according to a certain magazine. But I'm going to be putting those out. I do have some notes taken about the poems. Some of them I know, some of them I'm not that familiar with. But I did have to abbreviate them because you can only fit so many characters in the hashtags. So, but I am going to put a scroller across the bottom right quick, just in case, because this is the last night and this is tonight only. There is no pressure on that. The entries are free, but if you If you've missed a bunch of shows and you feel the need to catch up a little bit, here's an opportunity to do that. I am making entries to the quarterly drawing. 10 entries. It's a dime per entry, so 10 entries per dollar on the supers tonight. And later on in the night, I will be giving away a 6-ounce pour of either the Clyde Mays, or I've got some barrel selects back here we can choose from. $1 per every goes into that drawing for tonight. But with that, I'm going to queue up. Oh, and also we have a guest coming. If you saw the thumbnail, we are going to have Mark, Mr. Greatshot, up here. And we're just going to shoot the breeze. And he's going to fill the first, well, not the first guest spot, but the first of an official start to having guests on the show. So I've done it a couple of times before, but it was impromptu. But let me queue up the StreamYard tool here. Giveaway. I usually have this queued up ahead of time, but I just didn't do it tonight. But forgive me. Angie, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great. All right, so let me grab this copy. Now, these are also in no particular order. The magazine was very clear that this is not, they didn't number them top 10. So they just said, here's the top best poems of all time, according to their research and opinion.
Ah.
So the first one, now I had to abbreviate this one, is Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. And the interesting thing about this poem is that though the word bird is used only once, it permeates throughout the poem. So there you go. Hope Dickinson. And that's that. So we will get to the rest of them here in a little bit. Mark will be joining us at 7. The other thing I will say, I've been doing a little work in the background. I do now have a few that I'm going to use. So when I pour another bourbon, I can pop a cork. And I don't know why I have this. I guess just to get your attention. I don't know. But
attention gotten.
Yeah. So, I have a few now. Now I do have a crescendo I'm going to use, here in a little bit. But I call this one Wheel Spin Intro Music, was that first one I played. So when I go to spin the wheel, I will play the music and I'll share my screen and we will spin the StreamYard giveaway spinner. So let's look back at the chat here. We have Kitty303, David Bays, Newfoundlander, Ingalls family, Everything Spicy, Phil's in the house, Kathy Bates, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Mike Carrier, I believe I'm scrolling. I believe I've called everyone out so far. So Big Daddy H just piped in, so there we go. And Art by Sparkle. The lovely, lovely Art by Sparkle.
Everything Spicy. Did you say that one?
And also, I do believe I put spaces. I'll tell you what I'll do. I won't put the spaces anymore. I'll put spaces in front and after the dash. I sure did. I put spaces. I'll tell you what, I won't put the spaces anymore. But for this one, there are spaces in there. It's Hope space dash space Dickinson.
So do you want us to type that again?
I just saw Art by Sparkle. This one is correct. Fulton is in the house. See how that one is correct, and this one is not correct. And if you don't get it like this one, it won't enter it. So we
Okay,
have to just
so space after Hope and space before Dickerson.
yes.
Okay.
Space
I mean
dash
Dickinson.
space.
Dickinson. Oh God, I said it wrong. Dickinson. Nobody
Yeah.
with an R.
All right. Yeah, Kitty 303. Hey, hopefully we'll see you back here soon. Hopefully you got your hashtag in. We'll get to that. But I am going to spin here in just a few minutes. So, yeah, there it is. We got it right. We have it correct now. And we are getting the entries. Let me make sure that went up. It sure did. I always like checking.
Space.
Okay. Yeah, Fulton, I will say this. I have a very important meeting in the morning early. My boss actually lives in Ireland, so it's 5 hours difference in time. But I will not be attending an after party tonight. I'm not going to do one either because I've got to get wrapped up and get to bed before 9:30 tonight, so I can get up in the morning and be super alert and fresh for that meeting. I am going to drink some bourbon and a couple of beer, but that also, as long as I don't overdo it, that helps me knock out quick. But
knock out quick.
quick.
I like how
That's
you
right.
said quick. Quick.
That's right. And just so everyone is aware, I know that I've said this a million times, and I see familiar faces in the crowd. But just so everyone knows, the first prize next week and the spin is next week, September 1, Thursday. If you are a member of the channel, you do not have to be present to win. Now, here's the deal with the entries. I will have the extra entries in by next week because the full month, depending on the level of membership, you get more entries to the wheel. But I calculate those right before. And then I look back and, hey, been a member since. And so I calculate 3 months worth, right? Or if they haven't been a member, a month, then it goes toward the next quarterly drawing. But but if you do become a member today, I won't give you extra entries for next week per se because you just became a member, but I will say you do not have to be present to win because I will write down all members' names, and if the spin lands on them, they do not have to be present. If you're not a member of the channel, you do have to be present, and we will give you a few minutes if you win to chime in to the chat and say, hey, I'm here, I won, and I'll have my email scrolling across the bottom, and all the winners, I ask that they email me to say, hey, I won. And that way we can get the information exchanged so that I can mail you your prize. But first prize, 24 note dozen kit, 3 sample bourbons marked A, B, and C, a virtual private tasting with me, and a crystal logo snifter. Second prize, any 2 ounces from the shelf and a Bourbon Bounty logo snifter. Third prize, just the snifter. No bourbons. If you are, I think I know most of the people in here. But if someone new comes in and wins, and I don't know who they are, I do have a prize form I do send out. You have to fill it out. You have to attest that you're 21 years of age or older to get alcohol product, and then send that back to me, signed, and then I'll put it on file. Very professional here. My wife's an attorney, so I know how to do all this. Plus, I'm in compliance. I've been in compliance my entire career. So, well,
you got some memberships.
Yeah, yes. If you are overseas, there's alternate prizes. We will figure it out. But just because you're across the pond doesn't mean you can't enter. There is things like hats and shirts and other things that we can accommodate. But we'll work on that. And if nothing else, I'll we'll do something. We'll do something. It may not be the entire thing. I'm over 21, no proof needed. Oh, well, okay. I know who Kathy Bates is. So. And there's Art by Sparkle. I'm going to write that down. All right, Sparkle. And now, too, I will say this. I'm going to be paying co-hosts to come up here with me. I'm looking for people with experience, with industry experience, with radio experience, with social media experience. It doesn't pay a lot, but it's like, and it's a cash exchange type of thing. I told them it's like, if I get someone to mow my yard, I'll say, hey, kid, mow my yard, and I'll give you the money, right? There's no contract to it, but and I will have different co-hosts because I want to see if the chemistry's there, if we mesh, if that stuff like that. So, but we do have someone in the basement who is going to be our guest tonight. I'm going to spin the wheel and then I will bring them up. But let me go ahead and get this first wheel spun. See, and I hit the wrong dang button. Now, how do I cancel. There. Share. Screen. What? Okay. Do I have to do this? It's already there. Okay, Chrome tab. Here we go. StreamYard. Giveaway. And draw. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Forgot to mention. I'll tell you here shortly. Kitty 303. I know she was leaving work and will be back, but she will find out that she got 20 entries to this drawing because I doubled the amount of entries you're going to get tonight. So with that, I'm going to bring up our guest for tonight. This is Mark. Mr. Greatshot is usually how you guys know him. But without further ado, here we go.
Howdy.
The crescendo, and Mr. Greatshot is here. All right. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. Cheers.
Oh, man. Thanks for coming up here tonight. What are you sipping on there?
This is Amberfeldy 12.
Oh, okay. So you're scotching it tonight on the Bourbon Show.
Yeah, well, it's hot
I like scotch.
here on the back porch right now.
Yeah.
So I was looking for something a little lighter on the 80 proofish, somewhere in that range. I think this is a little more than 80 proof. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the label.
Yeah, I'm doing the Clyde Maze, but it's only 102 proof. But I like the just over 100 proof, like right around the 100 proof, better than like the 90s and all, because I get more notes out of it. But it's not, going to kill me with 127 proof or something.
True that. Although if it makes you feel better, I had my first pour was 4 Roses. So.
Was it single barrel?
I don't think so.
A little rounded bottle. Was it the
kind of about this big a square, kind of a small little bottle?
Oh, small. Was it the like bar size 750 milliliter?
Yeah, I can run and get it. Hang on.
Well, there's one that's tall and squared at the top, round kind of at the bottom. It's got the leather around the top.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've had it. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Give me just a sec.
I mean, that's usually the one. either it's the small batch in the little curvy shoulder bottle, and then they have a small batch select in the curvy shoulder bottle. I have it. I also have the single barrel.
Yeah.
The small batch is a blend of 4 Roses bourbons, and then the small batch is the high rye. I think it's 36% rye, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, you were right.
Yep, that's it.
Single barrel.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's the one that's I believe it's either 26% or 36% rye. I can't remember now.
Oh, okay. This is it's 100 proofer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's quite tasty. It does a little better for me once you set it down and let it open up for just a little bit. Give it about 10 minutes or so to open up decent, and it smooths out. Other than that, it's got a bit of an ethanol hit right off the nose.
It does, yeah, and it's a little spicy. Well, and it's got that rice spice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the next giveaway here um, going and start collecting. Let me
It's
get this in here
tiny.
so people
Look,
can start entering their hashtags
it's only the size of my finger.
for 20. Each one of these tonight, I doubled it. They're worth 20. So,
I'm gonna have to put my
excuse me.
glasses on. I can't see.
Yeah, I'm kind of giving. So I was supposed to have a co-host start tonight. Unfortunately, family emergency right an hour before the show. So she's in at the hospital with a family member right now. But positive thoughts, prayers, whatever you want to send, going that way. But I've made this top 10 list in honor of the poems. So this is Wasteland, The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. Poem is regarded by many as the most influential poem of the 20th century. It was published 100 years ago, but it's never been more relevant. So there you have it. That's what the magazine said about that poem. Yeah, and there we go. Well, no, that was the last one. Hope. Let me do this one because this one is correct. And I think I did put. I said I wasn't going to put spaces, but I can't help it. I don't think about it. I just put spaces in there. So yeah, they'll have spaces. Let's see here.
I'm not a big poetry reader type person, but T.S. Eliot, I've heard of that guy.
All
If you
right.
can
Yeah.
hear the airplanes, let me know. I'll mute.
Oh no, I don't hear them. The other thing I'm doing tonight is I did put my lavalier back on. I went back and listened to some of my streams, and I'm coming through quiet. So I wanted to come through a little louder on here, a little clearer. And if I get up to turn around to do something on the shelf, it doesn't change the volume of my voice. Or if I go to the refrigerator to grab a beer or something like that, it doesn't change. So I will say tomorrow, I know I said this a little bit earlier, I do have a very important meeting tomorrow with my upper boss early in the morning. And so I'm going to drink this snifter of bourbon, and then I'm going to go get a Coors Light. The only reason, and no, I'm not switching back to Coors Light, only for 2 cases. My wife ran to the store for me and forgot that I'd switched to Miller Lite, so she grabbed Coors Light, but hey, it's beer. And I actually like it better tonight because it's a lighter beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into. I will pick some selections out of here for some 6-ounce pours, and we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But so, Mark, tell us something. I know that we've been hanging out, and we have been getting to know each other, and people, we get to know each other as much as we can in these chats and after parties and things like that. But what is something? I know you have disc golf baskets on your property, and we've talked about that before. But what is something that would astound people if they knew about you? What's something people just generally won't know?
Well, probably now. I mean, I'm typically a guy that works with his hands most of the time, and a lot of stuff that I've done throughout the years has involved that. Like welding and making blacksmithing, wrought iron work stuff, doing that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Making chandeliers and all that kind of stuff. But nowadays, I've gotten away from that some, and I've been basically working on a skid steer. So it's still using my hands,
Right.
but a completely different animal.
So, do you
So that's,
still dabble in art, or I call it art? Like if you're making chandeliers and you're using metalworks and stuff like
yeah.
that, do you still dabble in it, or you just
Oh
gave it
yeah.
up?
No, I still love to do all that kind of stuff. One of the bigger joys in my life is making things. Now, it could be out of wood, like making wooden bowls on a lathe or
Oh
something,
yeah. Well, I
or
love that. Yeah.
that's fun, and it's really neat to you start off with a chunk of wood. It doesn't look like anything, and then 2 hours later it looks like a bowl,
Oh, and
or a
shiny.
vase or something like that. Yeah. That's the thing with a lot of with wood and stuff. It kind of looks a little rough and everything else until you put that, a little bit of wax or polyurethane or something like that to it, and then it goes boom, and all the grain and everything jumps out, and it's just like, wow, I did not expect that. You know.
Yeah. Here's a little secret. I know some people we get down rabbit holes on Twitter or YouTube or stuff like that, but every once in a while I'll get in this on this kick where I just watch guys making stuff on lathes,
Yeah.
and there's just music playing. It's just them putting the stuff together, and there's just something
Just
hypnotic
fine.
about it that you can watch them do this and run it. And of course, they speed things up and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's um, I've thought about getting a lathe, and then but the ones that I would really want are expensive, and I'm like, you know what? I've got to stop this buying crap that I use 3 times and then it goes to the back of
Yeah.
the.
I've got a lathe in the shop right now, but I haven't used it in like probably 3 years or so.
Mhm.
So the last few things I've made were beer steins.
Yeah.
That I showed you that one,
Yep.
the wide mouth mason jar beer stein.
Yeah, and I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. I know. I think I saw a picture of you in an Air Force Blues. So you
Hmm.
were in the Air Force. Now
Yes,
that
sir.
was one thing when I was in the Air Force. I had grown up woodworking, but the primary thing about woodworking, one, you have to have the knowledge and you have to have the patience and you have to have an eye for
Hmm.
detail and take your time and do it right and don't skip steps, right? Or it won't
Yep.
turn out right. But once you have all that down, the other most important thing with woodworking is having the right damn tools.
Yeah.
And I mean, you
Well,
can do stuff without the tools, but it's going to take you 10 times longer and it won't be as good.
true,
uh, but
but that's anything.
when we were in the Air Force, though, they had woodwork shops on a lot of bases that you could take them this little short class. You could get your certificate
Hmm.
little card, and you could go in and reserve space and use the equipment.
Yeah.
Uh, and of
They,
course, it's big shared space and all, and you had to clean up. But
hmm, they didn't have that when I was at. I was stationed down in Florida at
uh,
Homestead,
I
south of
don't know.
Miami.
They had it on almost every single base I've ever been in, but it wasn't
Hmm.
prominent, and you had to ask where it was, and
Oh,
it was
okay.
like it was in a hangar somewhere. Like they would take a third of a hangar, or it would be in some, those strip rail buildings, the ones with the white walls and they just look like plain buildings,
Yep.
like storage rooms or something. And but they would be in something like that, but yeah,
Gotcha.
they had them on most of the bases. I think all of them that I was on that I was stationed at. I didn't look like I was deployed a lot, and I didn't look at every base. When I was on a short 2 week thing
Hmm.
or something.
I got you. Yep.
But
Yeah, Sparkle.
that,
Yeah, I used to live. Once I got back out of the Air Force, I moved back to Kentucky, and we did. Well, we had a mill for a while there, so we would cut out. Like for example, we had a big walnut log come in, and then
mhm,
it had knots on it. So when you cut through the log, the log's like this, and you're cutting off the rounded parts where all the knots are, and then it winds up being a big strip with a knot in it. You can't use it for a board or anything else, so it's just kind of a
right.
useless throwaway sort of thing. So what I did with one of those, or actually a couple, two or three of those, is I grabbed that piece. It's kind of oblong, and I flipped it over to where it was flat, and then dished it out and made it like a great big bowl that went on your table.
Awesome. Well, I've got
Oh,
to get to spinning this wheel here, so let me do that, and I will go ahead and share this out, and we will get another 20 entries. They're all 20 entries tonight. All the hashtags are worth 20. I doubled them. The last one's going to be worth 40. So here we go. And Wasteland, T.S. Eliot. Here we go. Good
All
luck,
right.
everybody. We'll
No whammies.
always give away more entries on the week before. Steam fire now.
Oh, steam
Yay,
fire, nice.
Cindy.
Congratulations, Cindy.
And I'm actually writing 20 down so that next week I don't forget. So let me go ahead and prep this next one up and then we will get this thing. Oh, and I forgot to tell everybody, everybody gets 10 entries tonight on the Put Me In is at
Ooh,
7:30. So it's coming up here in
nice.
about 15 minutes or a little more. And we will get that going.
Hey there, Chadio.
All right, we've got this one
Cheerio.
typed in.
Jody, can you hear my waterfall?
I cannot,
No.
but I
I
also don't.
can. I
I don't.
can. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I don't have the volume turned up too loud on here. So let me
Okay.
get this hashtag in there. This is, of course, Maya Angelou. I still rise. And this one says, if having its own Google Doodle isn't proof that the poem has officially become worthy to land on this list, then we don't know what is. So she published this in 1978. The poem has inspired artists and activists around the world. So there we go. I Still Rise by Maya Angelou. All right. So, yeah. And again, if you're just joining, I was supposed to have had a co host tonight, family emergency, an hour before the show started. She's now at the hospital with her mother. Hope everything's
Mm,
going well.
yep.
Positive thoughts and prayers heading that way.
For sure.
So, I do the positive thought thing, but if you're a praying person, then go for it.
Well, prayer doesn't hurt.
But I
So,
will say this that I will put this across the bottom right quick. She has her Facebook profile is Princess of Poetry, and YouTube is Miss Princess of Poetry. So if you want to check out Janelle, she should be here next week. Hopefully everything goes well, and hopefully everything goes well with her mother, and we can get back into this again. And hopefully she will be here for the giveaway show, and y'all can meet her then. But that is who she is. Uh, so yeah, I will touch base with her a couple of days, tomorrow and the next, or whatever, and see how things are going. Uh, but if she can't make it next week, totally understand. But I also have been talking to other people. I ran an ad for a co-host. I've gotten a big response on it. Some people are more qualified than others. I'll say that.
mm,
But I'm really looking for somebody that's not camera shy and can keep the action rolling. So
yep.
that's and have a good banter,
Yep.
good chemistry with me, and we
Yeah.
and all that.
Of
So
course, that's what you need.
oh yeah. So we'll see how that
Me,
goes.
I got no experience whatsoever.
Well, but you can talk.
Sure, I could talk. Most people can talk, though.
Well, yeah, but see, that's why I'm the host because I try to keep it rolling. So if you lull, I'll just
Uh
start
huh.
talking, and then I'll ask you a question, and then we can keep it going.
There you go.
So how long were you in the Air Force?
4 years. Well,
4 years. So
just
what?
just a little bit shy of 4 years.
Okay.
Actually, like I think 2 days ago, marks the anniversary. What is it? I think it's 20-year anniversary of Hurricane Andrew that hit South Florida,
Hmm.
and that's wiped out my base.
Oh wow.
So that's where I was stationed. That was South Florida there. So when that came through, my base went smear, and it was no
Yeah.
longer there. And they're like, well,
Dang.
you have 3 months left. Do you want to finish out here in, I think it's St. Petersburg or something like that, over on the west coast of Florida? And I'm like, no, it's almost my birthday here in October. I'd rather just go ahead and get out a little bit early. So I got out about 2 months early out of the 4 years.
Yeah. Somebody said something about 30 years ago the other day, and I saw
Yeah,
it
30
was
years.
weird because
Sorry.
somebody said something about 30 years ago to me, like 6 months ago, and I absolutely thought in my head about the 70s and 80s, and it's just And then I saw a meme. Okay,
I was
Thomas.
showing for Chadio.
Oh,
It's a little Don Thomas.
Don Thomas. Yeah. So and the thought actually went through my head about 70s and 80s. And then
Yeah.
somebody posted a meme on Facebook not too long ago, and it triggered that memory for me because it said, when people talk about 30 years ago and your mind goes to the 70s and 80s. So someone
Yeah.
else in the world has done this the same as me and
No.
not realizing it's more like 40, 50.
Yeah. Yeah. 30 years ago was the 90s.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I got
Yeah.
out in 92. So,
Yep.
it's like, wow. Yeah, it's been that long since I've been out of the Air Force. Wow. I just
Yeah.
couldn't think about it.
I went in 91 and I got out in the end of 99. I had put in for an extension at one of my bases.
Yeah.
They granted it, but a year into that extension, they said, we need you over here.
Oh.
So we're canceling your extension and we're going to move you to Missouri.
I
And
w-
then,
they
I,
were going to transfer me from South Florida there. My next duty assignment was going to be the Philippines. I was supposed to go to Clark Air Force Base.
mm,
And then the volcano blew up right then. They're
oh,
like, never mind. Don't go there.
have you ever been to the PI?
No,
Oh man,
my
it was
brother
fun.
has. He was stationed in Guam for a while.
Yeah, and I was at Guam.
My
Well, the
dad too.
Guam is where we pulled the Kurdish refugees out when Hussein was doing his thing,
Yeah,
and we put them because Anderson, we called it Andy, but Anderson Air Force Base in Guam
hmm
um, used to be a long tour base, and then they converted it to a short tour.
Oh,
So there was Andy North and Andy South. The North was the base, Andy South was base housing. Well, they
mm.
weren't using base housing because they had made it a short tour, no families.
Oh, okay.
So we moved the Kurdish refugees to base
hmm
housing at Andy.
Yeah,
And then we had to pass out food and stuff like that.
okay.
And, watch over them and all that. Because, you can't let them just roam around. You got to keep them.
No,
I mean, they're not imprisoned, but we can't just let a
yeah,
national
yeah,
person, walk around, without a passport and all that stuff.
exactly. There's a lot of buildings that they don't need to get into. There's
Mhm.
sensitive stuff in certain buildings that nobody needs to be unless you're, enlisted and backed, and you can go and see that kind of stuff, certain things sensitive and top secret and whatnot.
Right. Well, and the good
They
thing
don't need to
about
go there.
Anderson, Andy has a road running right through the middle, so you have two separate gated bases. You have the main base, and then you have the base housing, and there was also dormitories. That's where we stayed in the dorms.
Wow.
There right by the gate. And then we had to guard the gate and make sure no one's getting out. And we had perimeter patrol and all that type of stuff.
hmm
I mean, like I said, we weren't treating them like prisoners. That wasn't the intention, but we just,
No.
we had to make sure they stayed on the base. They had all the liberties, of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had to keep them there. Um,
I've got 2 jars of Booney Pepper paste in my pantry right now.
oh yeah.
Yep. Good stuff. Make you some fenadini sauce. Tasty.
Mm.
I'm sure you've had that if you've been on Guam.
Yeah. Well, I've got a thing with the hot, spicy stuff. I can't
Well, yeah, nowadays, but then,
nowadays, but yeah, back then I used to indulge. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I collected hot sauces up until it was probably, well, I think 10 or 12 years ago is when I found out what the
Yeah.
problem was. And so, that changed everything. All right. Well,
Of
I've got to
course.
spin this wheel. I'm going to try to get one more in before the 7:30 time frame. So I need to spin this one
Oh,
so that I
wow.
can do that. So here we go. Boom.
That's a
Good
lot
luck,
of coins.
everybody.
Wow,
Good luck.
Captain.
Good luck. And
Yeah, it was quite a
20
mess over
entries
there.
go to Fulton.
No, Fulton again. That guy.
This is the first time
Congrats,
tonight.
Fulton.
Well, yeah, but I don't think is he still in the lead for like most entries?
No, he's not. There's
Oh, he's
some
not.
folks with over 200.
Mm,
Yeah.
not me. Of course, then
Uh,
again, I'm not sure how much a good nosing kit's going to help me, considering I smoke cigars and cigarettes. So, I mean, I go more by taste. Granted, a lot of ones that I try, I smell different ones, and I can
mhm.
get a lot of different notes off of different whiskeys in general. You know, Irish is different than Scotch, which is different than most of your bourbons. And then down here in Texas now, I've got single malts and like Andalusia. Have you tried Andalusia
I have not.
products? Oh my God, that is so tasty stuff. But it's not like a bourbon at all. I mean, not
Right,
even close.
right,
So I mean, it's going to be more like leaning toward Irish pot still than
right.
it would anything else. And man, it is just so the nose and stuff on it is even my junky nose can pick it up. And I think you would be like, holy crap, what is this? You know. So man, this one here, it's super nice, super light. A lot of fruit notes in this one.
I might like
That
it. I mean, one of my favorite bourbons is that Duke, because I
Sir
call it
Duke.
the fruit salad. Um,
Okay,
it is one of the fruitiest bourbons I've tasted, and
I've had
you
one
know,
bottle of that.
yeah, typically you get apple, and
Mm,
sometimes you'll get apricot or fig if it's something dark, and
yeah.
and heavy. But this thing is like grapes and strawberries and kiwi fruit and
Oh
everything all
wow.
mixed into a big fruit salad. It
Oh
is
yeah.
wonderful.
That
Yeah,
sounds tasty.
yeah. I told my dad, I said, all these John Wayne movies we'd see where he was riding along and uncork that bottle and take a drink. And I said, if this is what he was drinking, then then yeah, I could see.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
More than likely, it was something like old Ezra or
yeah.
Old Crow or something like that.
I
Jim
will say
Beam.
the regular Duke, the 90 proof is
Hmm.
more like fresh fruit, like real fruity.
Okay.
The Duke Grand Cru Reserve, it's aged, finished in French wine barrels, the Grand Cru
Mm,
wine barrels and all. And
yeah.
it's a lot heavier, a lot darker bourbon, a lot higher proof.
Yeah.
There's still all those fruit notes, but they're like all baked now,
Oh, okay. So
in
like a
that one.
stewed fruit, like plums and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah. It,
I
it
got you.
turns into, but even like peach cobbler,
Oh,
you'll get,
yummy.
out of that Grand Cru. Um,
Oh, well, I gotta
yeah.
step up real quick and grab me a different beer, and I'm gonna show you a different one, new one on
Sure.
you. You're not gonna see, but
Well, I'm ready to see what it is. Uh,
well,
but
I
again,
mean,
my wife went to the store for me and she grabbed Coors Light. So if you see me with Coors Light here in a little bit, I'm not switching back. It was just
you're
she was
gonna
so.
see it. It's just that you're not gonna be able to get it.
Oh, okay. So what do we have here? Parasol. All right. It's kind of blurred a little. I can't
Mm,
hardly see.
let's see.
Wine barrels. Is that what it says?
Let's see. It's a wine barrel aged tart ale with Meyer lemon, basil, and ginger.
Mm.
512 Brewing Company here in Austin, Texas.
Oh, cool. Now, what is the ABV on that one?
ABV. Let's see. 6.6.
Oh, perfect. That's right down my alley right there. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I love higher proof bourbons, but I'm not a big ABV beer drinker. When
Yeah.
I'm drinking a beer, I tend to drink it faster, and you know, I don't know how to regulate a heavy beer. Put it that way.
Well, the heavier ones I have to put into smaller glasses.
There you go.
But
But I
it's
just
it's a
chug them right
nice
on
light,
down.
kind of hazy.
Yep. Now it looks
Oh
good. It's got a
wow,
good tight head on it too.
real fruity. Oh yeah, it's definitely tart.
But is it
Oh
good
yeah,
though?
yes, it's definitely a good summer beer
Oh yeah.
For Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, this is what you want to be sipping on around here.
Yeah, that bottle reminded me of some old monk beer or something,
Yeah, yeah, it does look like an old like a monk beer.
Yeah.
like Chimay or something like that.
Right. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's quite tasty. I
I
had
did
got
pick
that
up,
one from when Travis was supposed to come down and visit,
uh,
but he got hung up doing a few other things and couldn't make it. So
dang.
I'm like,
Y-
well, I'm gonna be on Jody's stream tonight. I'm gonna crack this thing out, and try it out, because I
There
don't need to
you
be
go.
drinking too much whiskey, because it's hot.
Yeah, I
Still.
did. I bought a beer not too long ago, and I was in Total Wine, and they had these beers in the boxes, the little bottles in the boxes,
Yep.
and it wasn't that big of a beer. It wasn't like a big double size beer, but it was $22. Let me
Wow.
write this down.
This one is a 1 pint, 0.9 fluid ounces, so it's a little over a pint.
Yeah, let me write this. All right. X. All right. There we go. So I bought a beer, and I'd had my eye on it, and I didn't look up any reviews or anything, but it was $22, and I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to see what a $22 beer tastes like. Why is this $22? Oh my God, it was good. And I can't
Excellent.
remember the name of it, but I have the bottle up there. But I'll look back at it. But it's not like I'm going to run by a 6-pack of them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that beer right there, I would drink probably two of those, and that would be enough. That would be all I would want to drink of those. But it's not. I'm not getting much of the ginger at all on it.
Yeah. Well, that may be a
Very,
good thing.
very little of the basil.
All
Now,
right.
the
Let
the
me
Meyer
spin.
lemon, I'm catching a little bit of that, and it's quite tasty.
All right. Well, I'm going to spin this wheel and get the put me in going. All right. Here we go. Shakespeare. Sonnet 18. I didn't say much about that. I think everybody knows who William Shakespeare is, and there's not much to say
Oh,
about it.
and
I
it's
did not
rigged.
see. I did not see Sheba B. Was she here?
Jody won.
Is Sheba here?
Oh,
Lori.
oh, give it to Kathy Bates
I
then.
I think I
She.
saw Sheba's name. Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. You know what? I'm going to write it down for her
Yep,
anyway.
she was
Yeah,
here.
Sheba
Okay.
B. Yeah, she's here.
All right. She gets mine,
Okay, okay.
uh,
And we spin again.
and we draw again. Oh, let me write Kathy Bates down here.
Yep. And the winner is Mike Carrier.
All right, Mike Carrier.
Way to go, Mike.
Yay! Congrats, Mike.
All right, got that down. I'm putting these 20s down here because I am doubling it tonight. Stop sharing. We are going to now go to the chat, and I'm going to type start. Put me in. So, Angie, if you would be so kind as to converse with Mark while I write all this stuff down,
Of course.
that
How
would
are
be
you, Mark?
awesome.
Oh, I'm hot and sweaty.
Are you?
But
You're gonna get in that beautiful pool, aren't you?
oh, I'm thinking about it. But actually, I'm gonna be. I'm actually gonna be moving out of this place probably at the end of the year, and I've got a new place south of me, just a little bit over toward Bastrop. But I've got a pool there too. It's just a little.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
different
I
pool.
was just gonna ask.
Oh yeah, the pool there is a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller, but it's got a deep end in it, so that's going to be kind of neat. And then I
Oh,
have a lot
great.
more trees around me, in which, being a Kentucky boy, I need to be some trees. I need
Yeah.
trees, and I need to be able to walk out in my backyard and pee wherever I want to. It's a
I
Kentucky
understand.
thing, I guess.
I get it.
But so that's going to be interesting, and we're working on the house now, getting it all. We had to gut the whole bottom floor and everything because
Oh.
it was just it was basically unlivable the way they had it, planned out and stuff. The kitchen sucked, and so anyways, we're working on all that, getting it all up to snuff, and then so I'll be getting out of this place before long. But
Oh,
for now,
good.
I mean, it's this has been a really cool place to live and rent for the last 2+ years now. I think at the end of this year and the next, see, June will be 3 years here.
Okay.
So,
That's a
but
nice long time to be there. It looks like a
oh yeah,
beautiful place. You got beautiful
the
view and
view from here is stupid. I mean, for Austin, you're not going to get the view that I have here. It's crazy. But I can see
yeah.
downtown Austin, and I can see Tito's across the street, and then I look to the right a little bit, and there's Austin, and then I look a little bit more to the right, and there's the airport, and then I look a little bit more to the right, and there's Circuit of the Americas racetrack. So it's the view from here is like 270 degrees. It's like a big panoramic sort of thing. Awesome sunsets. I love being up
Yeah,
here.
it's
I have a great breeze on top of the hill, and
uh,
I get these awesome sunsets. It's
I bet.
it's fantastic. It's really been enjoyable, and even
Awesome.
more so to be able to share with my friends and family and stuff like that. Come out, hang out, spend the night. I've got a 3-bedroom house. Enjoy the weekend. In fact, I've got 9 people coming next week for dove season because dove season
Awesome.
here opens on September the 1st. So they're all coming in on Wednesday, I believe, and
All
then
right. Well, let
the
me
next day is
read
dove
these
season.
names out right quick. And if I call your name, I have you in. If I do not
Oh,
call your name, and you want the 10 entries, it's double tonight, 10 for a put me in. Then type put me in. Right now, I have
brilliant.
Chatio, Gawani Ostinaco, Kathy Bates, OG Sans World, Cool Running, Fulton Mraz, Kitty 303, Newfoundlander, Ingles Family, Steam Fire and Ice, Mike Carrier, Big Daddy H, Sheba B, Lori, Angie Mason Fluid Art, and Art by Sparkle. Up there's
And
Mr.
me.
Great Shot. Yeah, you know what? I usually put my guest down anyway. Um,
Took me a second. I was
yeah,
I
there
was
we go.
jawing.
I got you. NJ Garden Services. Here we go.
Hmm.
All
Now
right.
I'm getting a little bit of that basil on it.
All right. So, yeah, we'll let
Hmm.
this run for just a few more minutes. I'm going to
Hmm.
prep the next hashtag while we're waiting, and then I'll post it whenever we get ready to do that.
Oh, so Zodi, have you been playing any disc golf at all?
I have. I played last week and shot
Excellent.
one under after,
Nice. Not bad.
which isn't bad after a break.
Yep. I played a couple of rounds when I was out in Colorado at a completely new course.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting. I mean, because I love a new disc golf course. I mean, any disc golf course. I don't care where it is. I love to play a new one. And I played this one up there, and of course it was like about I don't know 8,000 feet or better, and it was neat. It was nice to be able to play a different disc golf course with. I actually played with a new beginner guy that didn't know anything about disc golf. He was just wanting to get into it and play. So we went to a local store there and picked up. He got one of those little player packs, with
Uh-huh.
a putter, a mid range, and a driver. And then I went in and picked out, a putter, a mid range, and a driver. But me knowing, been playing since 2000, I picked out some decent discs. I got a for the mid range, I picked out a rock, and then the driver was whatever they had handy that was halfway decent overstable driver. But we went out and played, and it was really fun, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
great to be able to show him, okay, this is how you do for a backhand, this is how you throw a forehand, and that kind of stuff. Oh,
Right.
airplane, sorry.
Yeah. Tomahawk, thumbers,
Yeah,
Scoobies. Yeah. The whole, whole,
yeah,
whole ball of wax. Yeah.
it was
Now
neat to be
I'm
able to show him that kind of stuff.
I'm half decent at it. Well, I'm going to put me in. I don't see any more coming in. I think we probably have what we have, but if another one comes in here over the next few minutes, I will go ahead and count it and I'll write you down. But for now, it's hashtag Oh Captain Walt Whitman. It's really the name is Oh Captain, My Captain.
Oh, Captain, my captain, yes.
But it wouldn't fit on the StreamYard thing. But it's Walt Whitman, oh Captain, My Captain, written in honor or in remembrance of Abraham Lincoln and ending the Civil War. But it's been used in a lot of, quoted certain parts of it, quoted in a lot of pep talks in the military and all that type of stuff. So there you have it. It made the list, and that's our current hashtag. So yeah, we'll spin that one here in a little bit. We'll let these hashtags come in. I'm going to grab a beer right now,
Uh,
But I do want to know. I saw your picture on Facebook, and you were in Air Force Blues, and there was somebody with you. Are y'all still friends, or I know I've got some lifelong friends I've made.
if it was my buddy Lee, more than likely, yes. He's been my lifelong friend since I got into the Air Force. I met him down in Florida when he first got down to Florida. He was staying in a different room in the dorm, and then we wound up, you know, being friends. And he moved in with me, and then since then, um, I was best man at his wedding. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
best man at my wedding, and then I just worked with him today. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
so I've been friends with that guy for 30 years now plus. So,
Yeah.
but he's one of the very few people that I've met in the Air Force that I'm still, really close friends with. I have a
Right.
couple of other buddies, that I like. Buck, I went over to Saudi with. I'm still his friend, and we're still good friends.
Yeah. I know Little Jay has come on here a few times.
Yep.
And he's actually come up on panel a couple of times when I was doing the after parties and stuff. But yeah, he and John Cross and John, when I was in Texas living out on that 10 acres and all, John came to visit. He works for excuse me, Southwest Airlines, and
Hmm.
so he was there for some training thing or something, and they were in the area, so he came out and stayed
Nice.
a couple of days with me, and I don't know, I think it was a 2 week training or something, and so he had the weekend off, and so I went and picked him up because I
There you
lived
go.
at Hillsboro area, and he was there in
Okay.
Dallas. Uh,
Yep.
love Phil.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. That's good. When you got somebody that's close to, hey, you can swing on over, hang out at my place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It gives you a break from that hotel, and you get to hang out on
Hmm.
10 beautiful acres and sit around a
Exactly.
fire and drink beer and whatever. So
Exactly.
we don't call him 40 for nothing. He grew up in San Francisco, and they would sit on the stoop and drink 40 ounces. He got his nickname. So, um,
Yep.
but yeah, they'd go buy a couple of 40s and sit there with the little brown paper bags and drink them.
There you go. Very nice, Kathy.
Mm.
As he should have went in the Air Force, because the rest of them, I'm not going to say they suck, but we ate better and we
Well,
lived better.
that's true. But John was actually he was a jarhead, right? So he was a
Oh no.
Marine, and then he married Goose, and Goose was in the Air Force, and that's how he was a dependent when we were
Uh-huh.
hanging out. So
Okay.
that's how we met. But yeah, became real good friends hanging out there on base. Actually got to work with Jay some, because he was
Yeah.
in while I was in. But yeah, we all had the cards, and we all had the access to the base, and we all had the class six, and we all got a lot of beer.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Heck, when I was down in Florida, we drank copious amounts of beer. Yeah, we would get kegs on the weekends and stuff, and
Oh yeah.
play volleyball tournaments and everything. But I would mix for my buddy Lee. I would mix him pitchers of tequila sunsets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Not sunrise, but
not
sunset.
the sunrise, the sunsets. Yeah, because two of those pitchers and he would be setting.
Oh yeah, that put your lights out right there.
Oh yeah, it'd kick you back. Now my brother sent me a bottle one time. I never remember this. My brother sent me a bottle. He was over in stationed in Korea at the time, and he sent me a bottle of soju, one of the big
Mm,
combat bottles of
oh yeah.
soju. And I'm like, this tastes like nothing. And he's like, mix it with like some lemonade or something like that. I'm like, okay, So I did, and I sat down and drank about. I think I drank 3 drinks of that. I had three. Like say glass like this. Mix it about this much soju and then about that much
Mm,
lemonade. I drank like 3 of those. I'm like, well, this is pretty damn good stuff. I gotta get up and go pee now because I was at my buddy's place, uh, his dorm room across campus from where I was, and he had a little bar in there. But anyways, I was over there drinking that, and I got up. I'm like, I'll be right back. I gotta go pee. I stood up and walked about 3 steps and went, pow,
Boom.
and
Yep.
just face planted. I'm like, holy crap! That shit just slapped me upside the head.
Well, I gotta spin this thing so we can do another hashtag here. Let me go over here and play this little music.
Oh, dang, Captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain, who is it going to be for the 20?
Well, Kathy, I'm happy that he's doing better now.
Yeah, me
'Cause-
too. Go, Wani.
Oh, go on.
Congratulations. All right, let me stop sharing and I'll get this thing set up for the next one. We'll get through these tonight.
Yep, Jimmy, so's yours. Slap you down. I can attest to that for sure.
I don't really agree with this one. I think there's better poems out there that probably could have made their list. But anyway, this one's so tired because everybody had to read it 40 times in school. But there you go. The
Oh,
Raven, Edgar Allan
yep,
Poe.
Edgar
I don't
Allan
even think
Poe.
I took any notes on this one because everybody's read it.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
I
that
didn't.
one.
I just put The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe.
Yep,
Whatever.
I read that back in middle school, I think. I
Yeah.
was an avid reader back in middle school and high school. I mean, I was the guy that walked around, through the hallways reading a book all the time.
Yeah. The
I would
one.
go to the English class and stuff like that, and they would be like, "Okay, well, you have this book to read." And I'm like, "All right, 2 days, I've already read the whole freaking book."
Right.
They're like, "Oh, we need to take this test on it." I'm like, "Whatever." I'd be reading something else, and they'd be like, "Well, we're still reading this." I'm like, "I've already read it,
Yeah.
so give me something else."
No, I like the short story Telltale Heart,
Yeah,
Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, and that's about
it's a good
somebody,
one.
yeah, just having anxiety. I call it the 420 short story because you get paranoid, and
Well, it depends on what you're smoking.
yeah, yeah,
Certain
that's true.
nowadays, you go to other states and you can actually dial in, what would be better for you as
Right,
far as if it's a sativa, if it's an indica or whatever, as
right.
far as your actual body chemistry and how you process things, which is a huge plus as far as I'm concerned.
My problem now though is I can't do any of it because I never know what tomorrow or next year is going to bring.
Yeah.
And there are still agencies out there, companies that do a 6-panel drug test,
Oh, damn.
especially for
Yeah.
like execs or whatever. And,
Boink.
it's,
Yeah, they want the hair sample, urine sample, blood sample.
well, it's
Jeez.
urine sample, but the 6-panel covers THC and the 5-panel does not. And
Yeah.
then a lot of them have gone now to 4 panels, which doesn't even cover a couple other things. Mostly
That's
it
really
doesn't
good.
trigger. Like if you're taking some prescription medications will trigger, and the 4
Mm-hmm.
panel won't pick up on any of those. So
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a lot better nowadays than I used to be. So
yeah,
nowadays, I'm not going to find much of anything in my system. That, a little bit of beer, a little alcohol,
you're gonna find bourbon and beer.
for sure.
Yeah.
There may be a little bit of CBD or THC in there occasionally, but it's
Right.
not on the daily. I mean, I just got back from Colorado. Hell, it was legal out there. You
Yeah.
smoke all you want to.
Oh yeah.
Down here in Texas, it's not. Hell, I can't even get alcohol shipped to here. It's terrible. I mean, I see all these nice bottles that other people can get,
Right.
like Todd from 21090 or something like that. Sealback and all these other different companies that will see, to send to there. They won't send to here.
Well,
So I'm
and this
like,
is something that I was looking at. A lot of the things, like when they put in the address, it says you can't send there. You
yeah,
can't sell me things and send it to me.
Hmm.
If you send me a sample and there's no monetary exchange, you can send all day long
Yeah.
to
Well, I
North
mean,
Carolina.
you could send me something and say
Yeah,
it's olive oil or whatever,
right.
but somebody else like Sealback or where the other normal um, whiskey people that will sell stuff.
Distilleries, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't like if I said hey, Four Roses or Wild Turkey, send me a bottle of whatever. They'd be like, no, no, we can't ship to Texas.
Well, and that's just overcautious because Texas has similar law to North Carolina that there cannot
Okay.
be. But see, they would get if they get audited, you know.
Mm,
But a Mammoth Distillery in Chicago, Illinois, is the one that sent me the Woolly Rye, unsolicited, by the way, and I thanked them for it. Um, and I was talking to him, and I said, I don't think you're supposed to be sending it here. I mean, I appreciate it, but and they're like, no, as long as it's not, if it's a sample. And so I
oh,
looked up the law, and
versus a 7 mil.
no. It can be however big of a sample, but it has to be for my consumption, no resale, and they can't get money from me for it.
Huh.
Yeah, because it's state ran store.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, Texas is not state ran store. That's a different, a little bit different
Now,
law. But I
yeah,
can send stuff to you legally in Texas as long as I'm not getting money from you for the bottle.
yeah,
Now, and the thing that gets around it, and this is why we can do drawings and entries and stuff, because you're not buying it, you're buying entries, right?
yeah,
And I can mail it. But the thing that because Flaviar gets around that because you're
yeah.
not buying the individual alcohols. See, you're paying a
Hmm.
fee to them, and they're sending you so you can get Flaviar here.
Hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Well, maybe I should check into Flaviar because everybody that I've looked into, like what can I buy, other than something local, that I can have somebody ship me a bottle of something,
Right.
and everybody's like, we don't ship to Texas. And I'm like, dang. So,
Well,
but when
and
I
it's
go to
worth a
like
look.
Total Wine or Specs or something like that, and I can get stuff that y'all can get. Like I can go get balcones of whatever. I get the
Hmm.
Tres Hombres and all the different the single malt and stuff like that. That's one thing I'm really getting into nowadays is the single malt stuff.
Right.
That's quite tasty.
Yeah, Balcones is Texas, though. I mean, they're going to
Yeah,
distribute Texas. All right,
yeah.
let me.
Balcones is just a little bit north of me.
Yeah, I'm gonna spin this wheel again. I know it's going to become rapid fire here because I've got to fit all these in, and I want to do one more little thing
Hmm,
before the show
I
ends.
like
But
that.
let's do that. All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Cool running. All right.
Cool
I
running.
love now. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to save that. All right. So the thing I was going to say and jinx it is it's spreading the wealth, but every time I do that, somebody starts winning.
Yeah.
Somebody starts, which is not a bad thing for some folks. If it's you,
It's typically not me, but that's all right. I'm used to that.
well, here's your cigar here. No, I'm kidding. Now, and I had to abbreviate this one as well. So here we go.
All right, let me see if I can put this
I
one
was
on.
I was looking up how to put sound effects on the show, and then I started playing around with the background music. You can upload all your own stuff. So all I did was just uploaded a bunch of little clips and take the loop off so it won't keep playing. So, a pro tip, if you don't want background music, which I don't because it's distracting, and you want to you can load up a bunch of sound effects in there and just label them where you know what they are and then go for it. So, this poem is
Hmm.
uh, Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas.
Yep.
Uh,
Heard of that one.
in this poem, Thomas challenges the common idealism in dying peacefully. Rather, in Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night, Thomas begs his father to fight for every last breath. I think that's kind of selfish. I don't know what the situation was, but if my dad has lived a great life, I would want to be there to have him go peacefully. You know.
I would have to agree because I mean my dad just last year passed from COVID,
Mhm.
and he had been dealing with COPD and a few other issues before that hit, and I'm like, and he knew hey, it's that time, hey, give me the
Right.
salute, and he's like, I'm out,
Yep.
so I would I preferred that he was given a little bit of some drugs to ease his way out, and that's where he went. So
Yeah, and I did read these poems. I didn't have a chance to really dissect them all, but most of these I'd already read. I had not read this one. I did kind of read through it a little bit. It doesn't really give a lot, but it's kind of But the thing is everyone's got to go, right?
oh yeah,
And when you look
everybody's
back in
time is
time, and
limited.
yeah, when you look back in time, and let's you get bit by a vampire that doesn't exist, your your time is going to be limited. Uh,
Hell, I wouldn't want to live forever anyways.
you get tired after a while,
Yeah. Now,
Uh,
maybe if that a vampire bit me about 15, 20 years ago,
yeah, why did you
yeah,
bite me when I was fat and ugly?
before I
Come
went
on.
gray, come on.
Why'd you fight me when
Get
I
me
was
when
old?
everything's nice and brown and maybe blondish, because when I was down in Florida, everything was blonde because I was out in the sun so much, everything just bleached out. But still, get me then.
Yeah.
Nowadays, nah, heck, I don't want to live another 100 years.
Well, or yeah,
Jeez,
10,000 or whatever, but yeah,
yeah.
that would be well. And I think if you had, and
Oh yeah.
people talk about having immortality.
Take Kathy's comment down there.
Oh,
You still got her highlighted.
oh, okay. Well, here's the current hashtag. How about that? And
There
I
you go.
forget to take these down. That's why I need a co-host so they can bring them up, take them down.
Well, yeah, I get sidetracked and don't respond to you. I'm like, hey, take that shit down.
Yeah, and I have every good intention of putting it up because it was, so you'll see it. Make sure you saw her
Yep.
comment, and then I forget to take it down. So, but there's the current hashtag, and we will go from there. I'm going to spin this one here in 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll be all caught up then, and then I'll have 3 more.
So when do you think you might be getting down here to Texas?
It's going to be next year, but I'm going to
Next
try to
year.
be there in the spring.
Oh, there you go. That's a good time to come down here to
Yeah,
Texas.
it is because I don't want to go when it gets too damn hot.
Oh
Uh,
no.
I lived there for 18 years, and I know what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. So you know when you should be down here.
Yes, and
I
spring is
got you.
beautiful in Texas. You don't.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes now we had a lot of rain one year. It was wettest year on record or whatever. But typically,
Yeah.
you don't get a tremendous amount of rain. You get that in the
Yeah.
fall. With the
Yep.
thunderstorms and all moving through, pretty
Yep.
heavy. Other places we used to call it monsoon season.
Yep.
Over in
Yeah.
Japan and all that. But yeah, the weather tends to be worse in the fall, and you get the tornadoes and stuff like that. But springtime, you'll get some rain here and there, but it's usually not horrible. And it's a lot cooler. And when I say a lot cooler, it could even be
Yeah.
90 degrees, and I can tolerate that. It's
Yeah.
89, 90 is a high. I'd
Well,
rather it be 80s.
gotta get here early spring. Get here early
Early
spring.
spring. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's not bad. There's actually, green grass and stuff is blooming. There's some flowers here and there. That
Yeah, it
kind of
hasn't
thing.
died from heat stroke yet. Yeah.
Exactly. This year, oh, it was brutal this year compared to last year. last year we had gobs of rain all through the summer. Everything I
Mm,
was mowing Christmas Day. I mowed the dang yard because it was growing up and everybody was coming over. So I had to mow the yard at Christmas. Like, come on. This year? Now, the last 2 months, it's been triple digits or better every day. And then we've had no rain for basically almost 3 months.
right.
And then the last couple of weeks we've actually gotten some rain here. That big, rain that hit uh, Dallas and Fort Worth, that area, and
Mhm.
flooded everything up there. That moved its way south to us, and we got a little bit of rain out of that. I got an inch and a half or so,
Yeah,
but the
that's not
grass
bad.
is actually greening up a little bit now, so
Yeah.
it's nice.
Damn lawnmowers. So
Oh,
James Morgan asked how the
save
search
me
for
some money this year.
yeah, asked me how the search for a co-host was going. It was going great, and I had a big response to an ad I ran getting a co-host. And Janelle, the Princess of Poetry, was supposed to be joining me tonight. I did the thumbnail and all of that. And an hour before the show, she had to rush her mother to the hospital. So we are positive thoughts and prayers heading that way. I know that we don't know Janelle yet, but she's a real sweet lady, and I'm sure everyone's going to like her. She has a radio show, podcast. She has a YouTube channel. She's on Facebook. She's very familiar with social media. She's also a minister. I know I don't do the religion thing, but we discussed that. We're not going to talk about it on the show, but she's welcome to. I just I stay away from religious topics, but I don't mind saying positive thoughts or prayers. I don't have anything, I'm not a militant anything, but I just I don't that's not my cup of tea. But don't harbor anything against anybody that does. But anyway, so she is a poet, and she has some videos out, and we will be hopefully having her on the show next week. Hopefully everything goes well today. But I do have another person, Dion, who is out of actually Washington, D.C., is interested, and I may swap around a couple of times with some different co-hosts to see, because I want to make sure that we get the right chemistry, that we get the right meld together, on
There you
here.
go.
And I know it doesn't happen the first time always. Sometimes though it clicks, and then bam.
Sometimes it
Uh,
does. Sometimes you get that certain person on, and it just fucking it clicks right off the bat, and
yep,
you're like, hey, perfect.
yep.
Settle right on in.
Yeah. So yeah, I will let her know that everyone hopes everything's fine. But yeah, she is on YouTube. It's Miss Princess, and she has a like I do that someone's casting on the Google. The custom link. Mine's youtube.com/bourbon bounty. Hers is youtube.com/Miss Princess of Poetry. So, and
Okay.
then she's Princess of Poetry on Facebook. So if you want to go, get to know her a little bit before you meet her on here, great. But hopefully, like I said, she'll be here next week, and we'll be able to move forward with that. But right now, I have to spin this wheel, or we're going to be
Spin it
behind.
up.
So let me do that right quick.
Maybe I can win this time. Come on.
All right,
No
here we
whammies.
go.
Come on.
Bam, no whammies. Good luck,
Give me some.
everybody. And
It's been weeks since I've won. Come on.
Big
Big
Daddy
Daddy
H.
H.
You know what? Big Daddy H needs some entries now.
Yeah, he's been slacking a little bit lately.
All right, he gets that 20. Now the one you want to win is that last one anyway, because it's going to be
Yep.
worth 40 tonight, and that's a lot of entries. All right, and then this is it. After tonight, no more entries. Let's see.
Yep.
I have to stop and
That
think
little,
when I type this stuff.
that one there's got to go down to the hatch. Oh,
I
you didn't
did
see my
try
shirt.
these. I did try these out to make sure they fit, and this one barely fit. So
I'm sad about this.
Guinness.
Yeah. It used to be so good.
Oh, I know.
Nowadays, nowadays you get a Guinness here in the U.S. and it's just horrible. It's
Yeah,
nowhere
it's
close to what it
lower.
used to be.
I know it's low. I still like the actuator cans.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
that helps,
yeah,
but
but
still.
and I have the Guinness glasses that I pour them in, and I can imagine I'm
Hmm.
drinking a Guinness, and
Yeah.
so
But then when you
there's
go
that.
to you take it first sip and you're like, it's weak.
Yeah.
It's so thin. It's
Oh, I know.
oh, it's rough. It's just not as good as it used to be.
So this poem here, the longer title on it is "I Carry Your Heart with Me," E. E. Cummings. So one of the most famous poems by E. E. Cummings, "I Carry Your Heart with Me," is the love poem of all love poems. His stylistic omission of capital letters and proper punctuation seen here is an aspect, well, they seen on their site, is an aspect that many contemporary poets have since adopted in their own work. So, um, yeah, it's sure. Anyway, it's a love poem. So, but I need another beer,
Yeah,
so I'm
I
gonna
agree
go
with
get.
you. You
I
get
can
one
go.
and then I'll go get one.
Okay, I'll do that. Hmm. All right. Yeah,
Hey,
it's
Jimmy.
trash day today, so I got rid of all of the cans that were built up because trash and recycle went out. So I got that
Oh,
all gathered up earlier and put it all out by the road. So they'll come pick it up.
excellent. All right, let me go see if I can find me a different beer. Hmm, what have I got over here in my cooler today?
Yeah, we
Oh,
try to keep the knowledge
some.
flow going there, James. We try to keep it going. But
Well,
I'm not I can honestly tell you though, I'm not a big, I don't sit around and read poetry. I'll put it that way. I like it. I'll read it every once in a while. You know, but I'm not a. I
give me
don't
about five
collect
minutes.
volumes,
Babe, you just had a beer, had that whole beer, had two of those, and now
but I do. I like reading, but prose. You're live. I got her to wave. Yeah, you're muted. Yep. All right, so we are on this one. I don't see. Okay, I carry your heart. Let me highlight this one just in case somebody hasn't put it in yet. This is our current hashtag. I'm going to spin it here in just a minute or so, and we'll get that going.
Nope, the wife reminded me that I need to be heading down to the new place here shortly. So,
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, yeah. This now. Do you need to leave before 8:30?
uh, and probably about another 10, 15 minutes,
Hey,
something like
that's
that.
cool. And then I'll wrap this thing up. And because I'm ending at 8:30 anyway.
Okay.
So, saucy.
Saucy
Shane
Shane.
in the house. We're doing the hashtags. They're worth 20 right now. Hashtag I carry your heart is I have it highlighted there on the screen. That's for a chance to get 20 entries to the wheel.
I,
Oh, and that is for the 24 Note Nose Kit, 3 sample bourbons marked A, B, and C, a virtual private tasting with me, and an etched logoed snifter. Second prize is 2 ounces of any bourbon on my shelf and a crystal tasting glass with my logo acid etched into it. And third prize is just the glass. And also, if you don't want a bourbon, whiskey glass that, this is for drinking it neat, I can also do a rocks glass. I can also put my logo on a pint glass if you're a beer fan, whatever you want.
There you go.
And you can just tell me, hey, leave the damn logo off because you stink. Then I'll do that too.
No, I'm just a fan of all of them in general. I drink neat. I drink it on the rocks. I drink beer.
Yep.
So,
So,
any
but
of them would suit me just fine.
the first prize though, I want them to get the snifter because we're going to be doing the nosing kit and tasting
Yep.
those bourbons. So that one is non-negotiable. I will send you unless you say, hey, I already have a Glencairn glass. I would like your logo on a rocks glass.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, down here in Texas, you can understand it. During the summertime down here
Mhm.
on the rocks is most of the time that something you're going to want to drink, so, something that's decently higher proof that you can throw a big, rock in there and
Right.
chill that thing down, maybe melt it down just a little bit, and it's still going to withstand the watered down version.
Yeah.
That's what you want to drink on that.
Oh, and I do now. I make old fashions here and there.
Okay.
Love sipping on that, but I use rye whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically, I tend to use Tawakaro rye out of.
That one.
Okay, so it's TAH out of Palestine, Texas. It used to be Grapevine, and now it says Palestine, Texas.
Oh, okay.
But it's here. I'll show you the bottle. You can get it there fairly regularly. This is my favorite old-fashioned beverage right here. It's Tawakaro, and
Okay.
this is a straight rye Texas rye malt whiskey, distilled from grain to glass. It's 105 proof. I put
Okay.
2 ounces or 3 ounces. I put 3 ounces in my old fashions with a little simple syrup and all. But yeah, I've gone over how I make those before, but this thing is tasty.
There you go. That would be really good.
And so that's my favorite. I don't really use bourbon to mix, but I will use bourbon to mix mint juleps. But that's
But the mint
faddish.
just, pretty much overloads anything.
Well, but that's only for Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
And I make it in honor of that and watch the race.
My wife's mom used to do that. That's the only time she would ever drink a bourbon. Basically, is when the Kentucky Derby was on. She would make her mint julep.
Yep, mint julep. All right, I'm going to spin this wheel because we got to get this thing going.
Spin it
So
up.
let me do this right here. All right, we are sharing this screen and carry your heart. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. And another reason we haven't had double wins tonight is because we've had more people here tonight. Fulton, though, as soon as I say that, gets a double win. Now, I haven't had to say this yet because we haven't had a double win yet. But if Fulton wins again, he will get those entries. But I will spin again because I want to give more people a chance to win. So Fulton now has won twice. If he wins a third time, he gets those entries for that win, but I'll spin again. So he's the only one in danger of putting us into that tonight because he's the only one with a double win. I love this poem.
Exactly, James. It looks like a canteen, doesn't it? That bottle of James. Tawakaro looks like a canteen bottle.
Oh yeah. No, it is super tasty stuff though. And I accidentally bought it. I was looking for the barrel strength bourbon, and I was buying like 12 bourbons that day. And the guy's like, "No, here it is, right here." And it was with the bourbons and everything. He's like, "No, this is their barrel strength." And I said, "Wow, it's only 102 proof." And he's like, "Yeah, that's their barrel strength." I said, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
And I didn't see that it was a rye, so I accidentally bought it. So, all right. So this poem, let's get this hashtag going right here. This poem is by Audre Lorde. It's called Power. Lorde wrote this poem, acquittal of the officer who In 1973, he shot and killed an unarmed black boy named Clifford Glover. In this piece, Lord chooses to abandon the typical constraints of poetry to provide a factual and detailed description of the case. This heartbreaking poem highlights a problem we sadly still see too often in America today. So, pretty powerful stuff. If you go read that poem, it is pretty powerful stuff. But anyway, there's our hashtag. And this one is still worth 20. The last one's going to be worth 40. But I'm going to put the 20 down. I'm going to put the 40 on the last one. Now, I just put them in the order that they had them on the website. So.
Okay, I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
No, I hadn't either before today. I had not. And of course, like I said, they had the poems you could link to and read them. And so I was going and reading them and coming back, but while I was making my list. So, yeah, that could make an impact. So I am going to be doing a 6-ounce pour of now. So here's two things. All supers tonight are worth 10 times. So you get 10 entries per every dollar given. So if you're behind, here's a way to catch up. But also for every dollar, I'm going to do a spin here at the end for 6 ounces of a bourbon. And I will tell you it's going to be one of the store picks, but I'll get with you if you win, and we'll figure out which one. It's going to be one you probably can't get because it's a specific pick. What's that?
I said, hey, Phil.
Oh, and so, yeah, we'll get into that here shortly. That's why I'm trying to get through these. But yeah, we'll give people time to get the hashtag in, and it's 8:15 now. I'm going to spin this one here in a couple of minutes, and then we'll do the last one, and then we'll take time at the very end to do that spin. Right now, Art by Sparkle, Ojusan, and Kathy Bates are the ones who are in the drawing for the 6 ounces of bourbon.
That's a healthy pour right there, 6 ounces.
It's a big bottle. It's a big bottle.
I think the little sample bottles that I've got right now are like 2 ounces.
Oh, yeah. Let me take this one down. I have to put this hashtag up. I have to put this is the current hashtag right there.
Yeah, I think 2 ounces is a pretty good little sample, because it allows you to pour like a 1 ounce and try it out, see if you like it. And then you could also leave a little ounce in the bottle and come back later and go, well, let's see if it's changed at all or anything. Or if my taste has changed because I had, a burrito for lunch or whatever,
Exactly. And then you have I don't know, mahi that's really light in flavor, and now I want to try it again. And
exactly. Or it's cooled down, now I want to try it now where it's, down into the 85 or something degree temperature range versus it was 95 when I tried it the first time. And it's going to change a little bit. And then the thing I've noticed recently is a lot of stuff that I've poured and I've let set for 5 or 10 minutes has changed from when I poured it, took a little slash, and when I set it back down, let it set for like 10 minutes or something, uncovered, so that it airs out a little bit, gets a little bit of the alcohol evaporates off of it, and it seems that it's toned down, and I get a lot more notes. I get a lot more nose off of it, and it seems to be a little, I hate to say it, but smoother.
Well, yeah, we call it getting air in it. You can swirl it around and speed up the process. But yeah, typically you want to pour it. If you have time, it's optimal to pour it 5 to 10 minutes ahead of when you're going to drink it, and let it sit there a while. Not too long. You don't want dust collecting in it.
But, around here, I got to watch out for the gnats and whatnot too.
Cancer Mouse, how's it going? We have someone that don't readily recognize in here, but hey, good to have anyone who wants to show. Right now, we are doing entries to the quarterly drawing, which incidentally is next week. And right now, all you have to do is put the hashtag in that I have highlighted, hashtag Power Lord, and you will be entered into the StreamYard giveaway tool for a chance to win 20 entries to next week's drawing. The first prize is a 24-note nosing kit, 3 sample bourbons marked A, B, and C, a virtual private tasting with me, and a Bourbon Bounty logoed whiskey glass. Second prize is 2 ounces of bourbon in a whiskey glass, and the third prize is just the glass. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and jump in. If you join each week through the quarter, of course, you will get a lot of entries. So,
Yep. I recognize Cancer Mouse. She changed her name just a little while back.
oh, okay. Well, I don't recognize the name, so I just wanted to make sure if anyone new is here that they understand what's going on. But if they already do, then fine. But I'm going to spin this thing right now, and let's get this thing going. All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. We have 16 on the wheel, and 2 of them are mine. But that if I win, Sheba B wins. So here we go. Mike Carrier. That's the
Mike
second
won
one
again.
for Mike.
Congratulations, Mike.
All right, now this last one is for 40 entries. So let me get this thing prepped up, and we will do this kind of rapid fire here. I don't really, I should have put this one up the list, but I just put it in the order that they had it. Anyway, not my favorite, but yeah, it's all right. All righty, here we go. Let me get back over here. Put this in. It is hashtag road not taken. This is Robert Frost. Okay, the road not taken. One of the most misquoted poems of all time, but extremely popular. So there you have it. And good luck, everybody, because this is for 40. Again, right now, tonight only, supers are 10 entries for every $1 given, and every $1 gets you an entry to the drawing I'll do at the very end. And right now, Art by Sparkle, Oji-san, and Kathy Bates have an extremely high probability of winning 6 ounces of bourbon.
Excellent. They need it.
No. I do like Robert Frost. That's fine. The road not taken, though, it's been misquoted so many times. Even in movies, it's been misquoted. Read it carefully. You'll know.
The one you posted earlier, I remember from Robin Williams movie.
Oh, Captain, My Captain.
Yep.
Yeah, Walt Whitman. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very powerful poem. That one, and there's some other ones that didn't make the list, but they were just coming up with the 10 that from that magazine. I'm going to put Oji-san down. I'm going to turn that into a 2. He really wants that 6 ounces of bourbon.
Oh, Cool Running. I'm not sure. My iPad has been really jacked up. Hang on a second. Let's see.
And as always, I know I highlighted this, and mine was capitalized, but capitalization does not matter on the hashtag. So as long as the spacing and all the letters are right, it will enter you in.
I see it now, Cool Running. It's hard to believe that you can't get a good pint of Guinness in Ireland. That's just wrong.
What? In Ireland?
Yeah, that's what he said. He says sometimes it's hard to get a good pint of Guinness here on the island of Ireland, but the Guinness Guru is a channel to watch on YouTube. You'll see if towns and pubs here in NI and Republic of Ireland.
Well,
so I don't know. I mean, since Guinness basically sold out and was bought out by who bought it? A Japanese company or something.
Yeah, like
they're buying it. Everybody nowadays.
Right. What, Suntory or
yeah, something like that. It's annoying. So
well,
since they bought it out here in the
did,
U.S., what we get as far as a Guinness goes is not what it used to be 5 years ago.
No, because it's not brewed at the Guinness distillery, St. James Gate, right? But there is a bar. It doesn't do me any good here. and I'm sure there's more, but I know there's one on in Cleveland, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
that has a certificate on the wall. They order their kegs from St. James Gate Distillery
Nice.
or Brewery. They get it. They have, Art by Sparkle. We're gonna up that one, and
September. And Oji's on.
I already got OG Son.
Okay.
I'm marking them down, and they have what they call an official perfect pour,
Mm-hmm.
from St. James Gate. And
Nice.
so even though it may be Suntory, it may be another company, but it's probably Suntory because
Yeah.
it's Beam Suntory. Suntory bought Jim Beam. They bought others,
Yeah.
but the deep pockets. So,
Oh yeah.
but they didn't mess with their distillery, but they opened other mimicky ones that
Mm-hmm.
are lesser ABV and all that.
I
So,
got you. Yeah, the stuff that I've gotten nowadays here in the U.S., just the taste of it is just pathetic.
well, and
It's
it's
not nearly
typically
as good.
it's probably made here in the U.S. at some brewery that
Mm-hmm.
they've hijacked and said, "Hey, we're going to make this," and
Yep.
so
Out on the East Coast somewhere.
probably. All right, I'm gonna hurry because I need to spin this thing quick. So I'm gonna go over here. I know this is the last one. Hopefully everyone has their entries in that wants to be. But here we go.
Cancer Mountain.
All right, so we're gonna spin on this one. There was only 15 on this one, but hey, we had 17 on the last one. Hopefully everybody got in there that wanted to, and no one was having problems.
Come on,
Mike
Mike
Carrier.
again.
Now,
Oh, rigged.
Mike's gonna get it, but we're gonna draw one more time. Mike's getting that.
Hashtag rigged.
Mike got that. Oh,
And
Sheba.
look there. See?
And now I'm gonna spin one more time. You know what? We're giving away entries. It's the last week. This is it. This is all you get.
All right, then. Come on. Give me one.
Oji-san's
Oji-san.
World. There we go.
Jimmy got it.
All
All
right.
right.
That was it, though, guys. That was it for the spins. We are back over here. Congratulations to all the rigged wheel winners tonight.
Mhm.
And I was reading Cindy's comment there. Congratulations. Now, though, I am going to spin. Let me bring up the wheel. And I have to delete a whole bunch over here. Command A, delete. Look at there how that worked. I am putting in Art by Sparkle, Oji-san, and Kathy Bates.
Hey there, Big Daddy H. Missing your
There
tunes.
are only 3 people. Only
Oh,
3. You have a 1 in 3 chance. Well, Art by Sparkle, there's 30 entries. I gotta get all these on there. So let me copy, and I'm going to start pasting.
all right then.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I have to copy these and go 20 and 30. So we have 30 entries for Art by Sparkle. Then we are going to do the Oji-san, 10 plus, highlight those, and 20. Then we have Kathy Bates, who gets 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I will go back over here and we're going to share the screen. I'm not going to play all the big crappy music. I'm just going to go over here to the wheel of names, share this. I'm going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And good luck, you three. Here we go.
All right. Here we go.
6 ounces. Art by Sparkle is who it's going to be because there's a whole bunch of Art by Sparkles. All right.
Yep.
And I am going to highlight.
Congratulations.
Circle her name. And Art by Sparkle. Let me go to my banners. Where did it go? Oh, no. Oh, no, there it is. Ticker. Art by Sparkle. Please send me an email at bourbonbounty2019@gmail.com telling me you won the 6 ounce sampler, and we will work out the details on that. I will give you a whole list of stuff you can choose from. Congratulations. And guys, it's been great. Mark, thanks for coming up here with me.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having
me. We had a pretty good show. Covered some good information, and hopefully everybody had a good time. But next week, don't miss it. Now it's the spin, and all entries next week will be going toward the next quarter. So I will be doing spins next week with the top 10s and all that, but they go to the next quarterly drawing. So, but guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. See you.